I think the fitness industry runs on fear, insecurity, and shaming people and making people feel that you are not enough. So do something about it. अब YouTube पे और पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट में क्या होता है, एक स्टेटमेंट मार दो ना, बस वो हिट हो जाती है. Work hard, iron mindset. Now everybody's fucking chanting the same thing. Or the opposite. Don't work hard. Just do what you feel like doing. You feel like an ice cream. So if money is your excuse, if time is your excuse, if age is your excuse, it's nonsense. You're basically saying you're afraid. You're basically saying you don't want to take the risk. Most motherfuckers are just okay being a chutia. They're just walking around, and if you ask them, bro, can you protect your sister? If you're walking with your sister or your girlfriend or your mother and 3 people come and start harassing you, will you be able to fight? Probably. Maybe. By definition, if you want to be in the top 5% or 10% of an industry, even in, let's say, a limited area, let's say one city or one country, right? If you want to be in the top 5%, top 10%, by definition, what you do should be contrarian in nature. This is the essence of martial arts. Be like water. Be like water. And this is the magic of martial arts. If somebody, bro, the physical is there and it's important, but then there are layers to it, okay?
Yeah.
From the physical, you can go to the mental. From the mental, you can go to the spiritual. So we literally shot
The
first episode, and then because I'm a perfectionist and the audio quality got a little messed up, we are shooting the episode again.
Hopefully we can bring back the same energy we had, because last time we met after a very, very, very long time.
Better, bro. Better. It's
Better.
gonna be better.
We're more in sync today.
I mean, sure, we are. I guess we are. And also, what we just touched upon before we started this, that you can never repeat the exact same thing. I think that's a very good cue we gave ourselves. So we're not trying to because the episode we shot was very good.
It was
very
actually very good.
And we could make the mistake of trying to recreate that exactly, but that would be a mistake, because you cannot just fucking repeat something you did in the past. It has to be, you can learn from it, you can have general guidelines in your mind, but whatever you're doing now is completely fresh, completely new.
So we're starting with the note that you do everything fresh and you do it authentic. Don't try to replicate what you've already done. Take your learnings, but don't try to replicate your success.
100%, bro. 100%. So one thing I've learned in my journey is that there is a time and place to have a game plan in your mind, that this is what I want to do, this is how I want to execute it, this is how I want to talk. But you cannot have that running when you're in the middle of the game. So if I'm in a business meeting, before I enter the meeting, I could have some points. This is what I want to do. This is what I want the outcome to be like. But in the meeting, when I'm actually talking and I'm looking into the other person's eyes, I cannot be half in my head and half in the conversation. I have to be fully outside. I have to be fully outside. And I have to trust my instincts. And it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. That's why you see so many fucking questions on the internet like, how do I get out of my head? Social anxiety. Nye, nye. So it's easier said than done. But that's what you have to tap into right here, right now. And one cue I give my people is out there versus in here.
So how do you define what's in here and what's out there? Give me a
It's
little
like
bit more
riding a
perspective.
bicycle. You cannot learn how to ride a bicycle by reading a book.
That's also true for swimming. You can't learn how to swim without
By
getting
reading a
into
book.
the pool. Without getting in
Exactly.
the pool.
So this in here, out there is something you have to feel. You have to feel it. You know, so I literally make people do this, like look around you, look at the colors around you, listen to the sound, just be outside. Like think of your senses as some kind of, like how a sniper's gun has that red laser.
Yeah.
Point that laser outside. And then, just so you understand what's the difference between outside and inside, go inside.
Yeah.
And see what's going on. See what conversation is going on, and how you can start thinking about things and analyzing things, and then go outside. It's literally like a child learning how to walk.
Yeah.
taking your attention inside and then outside, inside and then outside.
So now that you've sort of said that you're a perfectionist and everything, and
Yeah.
the image came in my mind that that when there's a sniper, there's always a scouter with him. The sniper is focused on one little point, but the scouter is looking around. He has a pair of binoculars as well. He's giving him direction. He's guiding him because the sniper's job is to pull the trigger, hold his breath, pull the trigger, and hit the target.
Sure.
But the scouter is with him, who's telling him where the wind velocity is, or if there are enemies around you in that battleground, or to look out for something that might be coming. There might be a air raid that's happening
just
around the
data,
sniper.
man. Important data, basically.
So you mean to say that a person who has to be successful can be successful on his own, but having a team or having a support or having a man with you who's part of your success is also equally important?
Yeah, bro, for sure. I mean, I don't think you can be successful, very successful alone, right? You can definitely reach a point where you have enough money to do whatever you want, you have time freedom, you have whatever you want pretty much, like you're satisfied. But if you really want to amplify things beyond a certain level, it has to involve other people. It has to involve other people in some way or the other. It's not necessary that it's your employees or it's your partners. It could just be that maybe your customers are connected to you in a way which is very, very deep.
Yeah.
You know, they almost function as a partner.
Yeah.
They give you feedback. So yeah, I don't really believe in the lone wolf Rambo bullshit. Even
So
though
you think
personally,
the wolves are better in a pack?
yeah, man, everything is just better in a pack. Like, अब imagine करना, मेरे को अगर कुछ करना है, if I want to, let's say, enter a city and start a chain of restaurants,
Yeah.
and if I have 4 people who are a part of my team, each of them has a different, let's say, expertise and strength.
Right.
कोई marketing में बहुत gangster है, कोई chefs ढूंढने में बहुत gangster है, and all 5 of us decide, okay, you take care of the marketing, you take care of the food, I'll take care of this, let's go conquer this city. So it's way easier than me now finding those people, looking for freelancers,
Right.
कि मुझे बाहर से लोग मिलें. अपनी टीम के बंदे अपनी टीम के होते हैं ना.
So, there's one thing which I have said a couple of times to other people as well, that if you're in a business and you're constantly firefighting all the time, right, that's not going to solve the purpose for you. Because ultimately, you then go away from the goal and keep focusing on different fires that come there.
100%.
You can be there to guide the person that this is where the fire is, or this is where I see a point of failure. But then somewhere it has to be yours and someone else's responsibility as well when you are in a partnership or in a bigger business together.
बिल्कुल ब्रो, बिल्कुल. बिजनेस में यार पुरानी कहावत है, you don't work in the business, you work on the business. And I'll tell you this crazy fucking story, okay? This is one of the most powerful things I learned about leadership in my life. So there was this military classroom where there were new recruits, and a teacher was teaching them about leadership.
Yeah.
So he asked them, what do you guys think is the one defining trait of a leader? So these young enthusiastic recruits, they started raising their hands. One guy said, sir, confidence.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, let's say you very confidently took your entire battalion and led them into a fucking enemy trap.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead now. So what kind of leader does that make you? The next guy raised his hand. He said, sir, communication skills. Now he said the same thing. Let's say you used perfect communication skills to take your entire battalion and fucking get them killed in an ambush.
Yeah.
So this went on for some time till the candidates, till the recruits realized that they should shut the fuck up and let the wise guy speak. And then he said something which is mind-blowing, bro. He said that the one defining characteristic of a leader is the ability to see the map. And I was like, fuck, ये क्या बोल दिया इसने? The ability to see the map.
To see the bigger picture, you mean?
Yeah, to see the bigger picture in detail. This is where the mountains are. This is where the enemy is most likely to be. This is where our opportunity lies. These are the resources we have. This is how we are going to deploy them. This is going to be plan A. This is going to be plan B. You go here, you go there, you go there. This is the map. Let's go.
So there's a question that comes up a lot of times, right? And this is where people who are young question themselves that is my instinct correct or is my experience correct? Where someone who might be more experienced than you might come and say that, hey, listen, you know what, you're wrong because I have done this or I have seen this. But maybe your instinct tells you that, hey, listen, I see a pit that probably is the enemy barrack. Whereas a more experienced person might say that the enemy will preferably take a high ground and they are above the mountain and not in this pit.
That's a very good question, bro. I love that question, man. It's almost like asking, what do you choose? Do you choose your mind or do you choose your heart? Do you choose what logic is telling you or do you choose what something inside your gut is telling you, right?
So your brain or your gut, basically.
Fucking fantastic question. I think, so I don't think anybody has an answer to this question which can be like, okay, this is the answer. Because ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो subjective है और जो थोड़ी change होती रहती है. ये static नहीं है. तो sometimes what a person may feel is their intuition or their gut could just be social programming. Could just be fear. People who are afraid, they never go and say, oh, I'm afraid. They'll always say something like, oh, this is not logical. You know, fear likes to hide behind logic and things like that.
You'll always have a reason ahead of you.
Yes. So I think the game is not about whether you choose the gut or you choose the logic. I think the game is about separating the bullshit from what is authentic.
And recognizing where the pain is or where the problem is.
Yeah. Getting objective. Getting objective and getting clear. That's what the game is about. So if, for example, just to drive the point home, if we look at, let's say a business proposal, somebody tells you that, bro, get into this business.
Interesting,
And you look at the numbers and everything, and the numbers are fucking great. They're great.
This is where we're saying that this is the success that
Yeah,
we're looking at.
Like I give you a business proposal, and I say, bro, fucking invest in this, you're gonna fucking make 5 times
you
the money.
You already sound like a pyramid scheme to me right now.
I would do it better if it was a real thing. So let's say you get a proposal, you will make 5x, okay? Everything looks good logically. You ask your accountant, he says, fuck, numbers look good. But there's something in your gut
that tells you it's
which
not right.
says, no, yaar, this is not right. This is not right. So now what do?
What do you go with?
Now what do you go with? So the right answer according to me, and again this varies from situation to situation, you cannot just take something like this and have it as a mantra or have it as a fucking rule of thumb. It doesn't work like that. Life is not like that. It goes back to being present, being authentic, so recreating everything afresh.
It's not a straight line basically.
Yeah, so what I would do or what you would do in that situation is you would go deep inside that fucking voice that's coming from the gut and have a conversation with it. What is it? Like dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper till you either get to, oh fuck, this is my fear. Because when I was 13 years old, I got robbed or I invested in something and that didn't work out. So this is my deep-rooted childhood fear.
So now I'm scared of alleys and schemes.
Yeah. So this is just fear. This is not my intuition or my divine guidance or some nonsense that people talk about.
Or your newfound hope or your newfound meditation that's helping.
Yeah. Or you will, or if you go, or you could also find the other thing, which is you realize that maybe the numbers are great, maybe whatever is great, but that's not your true calling. You don't want to be a businessman in the first place. You want to be a fucking painter.
Maybe you don't want to be a restaurant owner.
Maybe you don't want to be a restaurant owner.
Maybe
That's
you want
fantastic.
to be a fashion designer. Maybe you want to be a gym owner.
100%. 100%. So it's about cleaning up both the voices, cleaning up the logic and cleaning up the gut. And I think this is just my hypothesis that when you clean up the voices,
when you filter out the noises, basically.
Yeah, when you can separate social programming, biological conditioning from the authentic voice and the authentic calling. There will be no contradiction.
So you will have
They'll
a straight,
say the same thing.
Answer.
They'll say that, you'll have a straight answer. They'll say the same thing. The logic and the gut will align and it'll be like, you're the king and all your ministers say the same thing. That this is what we're doing.
So it'll be a unanimous decision that you'll be taking at that time.
Yes.
But
just to drive it home, it's not about this or that. It's about clean till you finally get the answer.
But to get to that answer, and to make it all clean, there has to be a number
process?
of processes, a number of mistakes you made, a number of ways you take to get to that. And this is something that I want to touch upon because I know you for very long, you know me for very long.
Yeah.
And we know the Manan that we know and hear today is not the Manan we knew or heard about 10 years, 14 years back.
100%.
Manan was a very different person, right? And I want to talk about that.
मेरी जो जर्नी रही है ना, काफ़ी ड्रामेटिक पिक्चरों वाली जर्नी रही है. 10-12 साल पहले, 15 साल पहले मेरे लगे हुए थे लोड़े, ठीक है. तो अगर मैं एकदम
Literally या figuratively?
भाई मैं अगर एकदम बचपन से स्टार्ट करूँ ना, मेरे हार्ट सर्जरीज हुए हैं. 10-11 साल की उम्र में मेरे ओपन हार्ट सर्जरीज हुए हैं. सो इन टोटल आई हैव अंडरगॉन 4 हार्ट सर्जरीज. आई हैव अ ह्यूज स्कार, 12 इंच का स्कार है मेरी छाती पे.
Good conversation point, huh?
हाँ, मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ किसी ने मेरे को तलवार मार दी थी. एनीवे, द पॉइंट इज कि सो आई वाज 10-11 इयर्स ओल्ड. ये सर्जरी होती है, ठीक है. मेरे को ये फील होना स्टार्ट होता है कि ओ फक समथिंग्स रॉन्ग विद मी. एक छोटे बच्चे के साथ ये हो रहा है, उसको क्या ही फील होएगा. सो दैट समथिंग इज रॉन्ग विद मी ट्रांसलेट्स इनटू फियर, इनटू सोशल आइसोलेशन.
लोग तेरे को डिफरेंटली देखने लगे उसके बाद?
ब्रो मैं खुद को डिफरेंटली देखने लगा ना. तो पीपल विल लुक एट यू द वे यू लुक एट योरसेल्फ.
राइट.
तो मैं क्लास में कोने में बैठने लगा एकदम चूतिए की तरह. तो एंड दिस इज 12 years 13 years. सो दिस इज व्हेन वी आर गोइंग इनटू दैट वो टीनेज इयर्स.
राइट.
जब आपको लोगों से मिलना है, जब आपको
Cusp of development.
when you need courage, when you should explore and experiment. And what am I doing instead of being courageous and exploring and experimenting? I'm sitting in a corner like this. And what does that lead to? अब जब आप विक्टिम की तरह बैठते हो तो आपको बाकी लोग विक्टिम की तरह ट्रीट भी करते हैं. बुलिंग शुरू हो जाती है, लोग मेरे को मारना शुरू करते हैं, मैं और आइसोलेट होता हूँ. कहीं से कोई मुझे एक गांजे का सुट्टा ट्राई करा देता है, तो ऑल ऑफ दैट मिजरी एंड पेन दैट आई एम डीलिंग विद, अब मुझे एक एस्केप मिल जाता है. सो आई एंड अप बिकमिंग अ ड्रग एडिक्ट.
क्रच मिल गया देखो.
एक क्रच मिल गया. अब तू देख कैसे कंपाउंड हो रही हैं प्रॉब्लम्स. अब विद दैट fucking this thing with the drugs, now I have depression, now I have social anxiety, now I have all sorts of mental issues, bro. इतनी severe anxiety है कि अगर एक Amazon का डिलीवरी बॉय आता है, मेरे घर की घंटी बजाता है कि सर मैं आपका पार्सल लेके आया हूँ, I don't know how to talk to that guy.
तो मनन परफेक्ट.
मेरा कोई लेना देना नहीं है उस बंदे से. It's not like social anxiety के questions किस context में होते हैं कि डेट है, बिजनेस मीटिंग है, इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में होते हैं ना.
Right.
जहां कुछ आउटकम है, वेयर देयर इज समथिंग एट स्टेक. व्हाट इज एट स्टेक यहाँ पे कि एक Amazon डिलीवरी बॉय से मुझे एक पार्सल रिसीव करना है. व्हाट्स एट
और
स्टेक?
नाम कंफर्म करना है.
हाँ, बट आई कांट इवन डू दैट. मैं जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट ब्रो, आई कांट डू दैट. आई एम शेकिंग, आई एम लुकिंग डाउन, आई कांट डू दैट. इतनी सिवियर एंजाइटी, डिप्रेशन. तो मैं बिल्कुल गड्ढे में था ब्रो. तो माई स्टोरी इज लिटरली फ्रॉम लाइक
Rags to riches.
rags to riches, zero to hero, from fucking hell. You know, I come from hell, bro. I come from like absolute darkness.
But you know, the way we joke and the way we talk about things, I would say you were a perfect candidate for a therapist to now being the fucking Terminator that you are today. Right? Because now I see you as a person who's, you know, a man of action, who has all his voices clean, who's able to take decisions, who's thinking ahead, right? I've sat with you for a little bit while you're working, right? I've seen how you work. I've seen how you think. I've seen that hunger in your eyes, right? Social anxiety to having that hunger कि I want to build a fucking empire. Not a kingdom, a fucking empire, right? Knockout, you've built it, you're the person who started it. Roots से बिल्कुल, now you have franchises, you have places, it's known, there are pro fighters with you. Things have, you know, मेरे सामने इतनी सारी चीज़ें आई हैं, इतने centers खुले हैं. There are so many people who come to you for self-defense training from a person who has social anxiety, who's now giving seminars on self-defense, teaching women how they can protect themselves.
And men.
And men as well.
लड़कों की ज़्यादा लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं ब्रो. सेल्फ डिफेंस में ना people always talk about self defense for women, self defense for women. ब्रो ज़्यादा लड़ाइयाँ statistically लड़कों की होती हैं. Men need to know how to fight way more than women need to know how to fight.
So, you know, not to take it to that level, but when we talk about men and women, right, they have different mental capacities as well. someone might say that women have a higher mental
Are
capacity.
you trying to say men are more intelligent than women? Are you saying you are Andrew Tate?
No, I never said I'm Andrew Tate, right? What I'm trying to say is that it's not a gender-biased problem, right? Where we are talking and saying that, you know, men or women have a better mental capacity. This could be anyone, right? This is not that two guys are talking, so, you know, we will relate in that way. This is any person who's going through something like that or feels that way, right?
Yeah.
And then they have to think about what steps do I need to take. If I don't look good in my clothes, if I don't fit in my clothes, do I then start accepting it and keep it that way? Or do I then take steps and, you know, get fitter or wear better clothes, right? Or go to a better tailor, right? Wear better colors. So there are problems and there are solutions towards it, right? But then, like you were mentioning in the beginning, right? That there'll be some fear, there'll be some voice. Something somewhere will stop you. You might think that me going 50% is the best thing, right? Whereas if you would have gone 150%, that would have solved more problems for you.
Possible. So, a few things from what you just spoke about. One is, it's very interesting, the whole body thing, right? I'm not happy with my body, so I must do something about it. इसमें एक बड़ा delicate balance चाहिए आपको. Right now, I think the fitness industry is very dark. I think the fitness industry runs on fear, insecurity, and shaming people and making people feel that you are not enough. So do something about it. And that's fine because it actually helps a lot of people. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
If you look at a problem and you say, I need to solve this problem, and then you go and solve it, there's nothing wrong with that. But a much better way of doing things is to approach this whole situation with a different context. For example, my body is a temple, so I must take care of this temple. And taking care of that temple involves working out regularly, doing meditation, breath work, etc., etc. Instead of, oh fuck, I need to lose this weight, I need to get jacked, let's get some supplements, let's do this, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different fuel. In life, there are different fuels you can use. So somebody who's in a complete ditch can use that dirty fuel.
Yeah.
I hate myself, so I need to do something about myself.
Right.
But once you get to level 2 or level 3, or you get to a slightly better place, you want to switch from that dirty fuel to I am enough the way I am, but I can keep growing. I can go from perfection to perfection.
Incremental steps, you mean, right?
Yes. And another thing that you spoke about, men and women, right? That just brought this point to my mind, which I want to put out there. I heard this statement from somebody, equally beautiful, but beautifully different. So men and women are equal in value, but they're fucking different. I hate how society these days is trying to make everything same. Women are the same as men. Men are the same as women. No, we are not. It's scientifically proven. It's not even subjective. It's scientifically proven that we are inclined towards different psychological things. We have different physical capabilities. How the fuck is a man equal to a woman?
Yeah, this is one thing that we were talking about, right?
And this, Akshat,
that we hadn't caught up in so many years.
Yeah.
And then it was a quick conversation and we're like as good as ever again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very different. It's the way men do friendships, the way women do friendships. Everything is different. Even their career choices. The kind of careers most women are naturally attracted to, most men are naturally attracted to. Everything's fucking different, bro. And because we don't acknowledge this scientific truth, relationships are suffering. The reason nobody is happy is because we have fundamentally drifted away from what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. Now, just to give the counter argument, always remember we are equal in value. That's the counter argument, because you can take this too far and be like men are superior, women are inferior, or the other way around. Then you've gone too far, right? So
we're not comparing genders.
We're not comparing value. We're not comparing value.
Yeah.
This is a coffee, this is a fucking TV remote. It's two different things.
They have different functions.
They have different functions.
Both can keep you up. Both can keep you up at night.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Both can keep you up. So equally beautiful, but beautifully different. That's one thing all men and women need to sort of understand. And from that standpoint, they should approach their relationships. This is, I think, one of the most important things young people need to learn in order to have happy relationships, bro.
But when we talk about young people, you're saying relationships are important, right? What about the value of hard work, of putting in the work as well when you're young? Because that's when you have energy. That's when you have chances. You can try something. If it doesn't work out, you can switch. I'm not saying that you can't switch later, but then the possibility of switching gets a little bit lesser because added responsibility. You're at a different stage in life. Of course, someone who's not there will not understand it. It's only when you reach there you understand. Now you're more than 30, right? There are still chances that you might feel that I could have taken.
I'm always 18.
You're always 18 at heart.
Always 18. Not at heart, bro. Like literally. Like what do you want? What competition do you want to do? Do you want to arm wrestle? Do you want to box? What do you want
I'm
to
pretty sure you would kick my ass in boxing. You've done that a couple of times. You've given me a bloody nose once.
Okay.
But
so I'm 18, not just at heart, with physical capabilities as well.
But
yeah.
But no, when I say that you have chances and you have time to make those things, right? The hard work that comes in.
So I'll tell you what most people get wrong about hard work. Most people live their life like a line, like a
linear line.
So I want to become let's say, engineer or a lawyer.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start studying law, and I'm going to work towards my goal. And now everything becomes about the goal, the future. So it's like a line.
Yeah.
I'm getting somewhere. Okay. But what you should do instead is think of life as a series of dots. What's the difference? The dot means that right now, right here is perfect. You are not living for some future event or future outcome.
Yeah.
You're not sacrificing your here and now, your present moment, because all of this hard work and hustle will one day pay off. Because what happens is if you postpone life like that, you are never alive. You're just suffering. So think about it like this, bro. If you're climbing a mountain, on the peak you'll just spend what? An hour? 2 hours?
Maybe
People
less.
who climb the Everest, I don't think they can spend a lot of time at the peak. They'll die if they do.
I think they have only 5 to 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. So what is the whole experience really about? Is it about the peak?
No, it's about the
It's
climb.
about the fucking climb.
It's about the climb.
It's about the climb. So we live life with this line mindset that I have to get here and I have to do all of this to get there. And what if you don't get there, bro? What if something goes wrong in the middle? Right?
So people forget
all
to
of
enjoy
those
the journey.
days.
People forget to enjoy the journey, you mean?
Yeah. People forget to enjoy the journey, and this statement is very overused. Enjoy the journey, so I don't use it. I'm trying to use different language to communicate the same thing. Essentially, it's about dots. This moment here and now is perfect. If I want us to be the best podcasters in the world, or really great podcasters, let's say, should this moment and should our journey till we become great podcasters, we have, let's say, 1 million views or whatever, should that journey be all about that day when we have 1 million views?
Absolutely
Or should each
not.
episode be fucking fun and amazing?
It should be fun and amazing. I think the point is to...
Like, is there anything wrong with this episode because we don't have 1 million followers yet?
Not yet.
Are we having a good time?
Yeah, we are having a good time.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, we dance the dance of whatever it is we want. You dance the dance of law, and if you do it enough, you'll eventually become a lawyer. You dance the dance of business, and if you do it enough, you'll eventually become a businessman. You dance the dance of an athlete, and if you do it enough, you'll eventually become an athlete. So dots instead of a line.
So when you say dots, right, and let's say you're drawing a line and you're drawing dots as well, both ways it's possible that it's going in some direction, right? Okay. Now, when you said that you have to dance the dance and be an athlete or be a businessman, right? There are some key values that come with it. You have to have perseverance. You have to have consistency. You have to have a fucking iron mindset, right? And when you look at people who give up halfway, thinking that I would not be able to become an athlete.
Yeah.
Why? Because I started late. Or maybe I don't have the right tools or the kit. You know, remember back in school when people used to complain that, hey, I don't have the right ball, so I'm not able to make the shot. I don't have the right pad, so I can't play cricket that well, right? So what about these excuses, right? In life also, we have excuses where people say that, oh, I can't start a business because I don't have this capital, or I can't start this business because I don't have the equipment, right? So people who don't have this equipment, don't have these facilities, they need to network. They need to, you know, go out there. They need to talk to people. They need to make connections in order to start, fund, or even share their vision where someone else might back them for things like that. Or just come up with a completely different solution. Might have a main business in mind, build capital for that through you know, some other means, and then start funding your goal.
That's a very good point, bro. You're absolutely on point with what you just said. So the way I look at it is, the qualities you were talking about, perseverance, willpower, iron mindset, my take is that different levels पे different चीज़ चाहिए होती है. तो if you're somebody who's stuck in a rut, आप बिल्कुल apathetic हो, आप गंदा खाना खा रहे हो, आप कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे हो, जिम भी नहीं जाते हो, तो then you definitely need the warrior mindset, and you need to get aggressive, fucking start hitting the gym, start making some money. If you don't have a girlfriend, start talking to girls. You need that aggression, okay? But हर level पे ना game अलग है अक्षत. So मेरे level पे I don't need the Andrew Tate mindset that much. क्योंकि मुझे अब चाहिए flow और rhythm.
You need a consistency.
तो so if it's very interesting, okay? But ये grasp करना थोड़ा मुश्किल है क्योंकि ये nuance है. अब YouTube पे और personal development में क्या होता है, एक statement मार दो ना, बस वो hit हो जाती है. Work hard, iron mindset. Now everybody's fucking chanting the same thing.
That's your new clip.
Or the opposite. Don't work hard. Just do what you feel like doing. You feel like an ice cream? Honor your मतलब लोग extremes. People live in extremes. Real wisdom, bro, is in paradoxes. And real wisdom is always somewhere in the middle.
Just living in the middle of it.
So अब मेरे साथ क्या हुआ है, वो मैंने कर लिया वो जर्नी कि hustle, aggression, let's go get it.
You put in the hard work.
Now, if I still stay perseverant, I'll actually do more harm than good. Why? Because I will just persevere with my old ways. So now I need to let that shit go and find flow. Find rhythm. What works for me? Does it work for me to fucking exercise in the morning? Does it work for me to exercise in the evening?
Yeah.
What are my strengths, natural strengths? Should I do everything in my business? Obviously not.
Obviously not.
So for me, now the journey is lighter in a way. Do I want to hustle and go hard, or do I want to create alliances? Do I want to see everybody as my enemy and like, motherfucker, I'm the best? Or do I want to see everybody as my friend and, bro, you're the best as well?
In your area.
And yeah, no, in everybody. Like, you're a human being, I'm a human being. We're all good, bro. You know, I respect you.
So your empathy and humanness is coming out now.
Yeah, I don't look at myself as superior to you or anybody. Very interesting concept. It comes from old school psychology. Do you believe in vertical relationships or horizontal relationships? What is a vertical relationship? He's my employee, so I'm his boss. He's my employee, so I'm his boss.
Basically top down.
No, just like
bottom up or top down.
I am senior to some people and I am junior to some people.
So bottom up or top down, basically.
Yeah, like do you have that very rigid hierarchy in your life? Or is everybody pretty much the same?
On the same plane.
Pretty much the same, yeah. You may be playing the role of my boss, but come on, you're Akshat at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, we work towards the same goal. So our objective is the same.
I may call you sir, but we're the same, bro.
Yeah, objective
you're a
is
man,
the same, like
you're just a couple of years older, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. Levels होते हैं, bro. Journey में ना, levels होते हैं. You have to realize what level are you at. One of the biggest mistakes people make is वो दूसरे लेवल की एडवाइस अपने लेवल में लगा देते हैं. कोई आदमी जो बिल्कुल ही चूतिया है, जो घर पे बैठ के सिर्फ टीवी देख रहा है, खाना खा रहा है, जिम नहीं जा रहा, वो ये एडवाइस लगा देगा कि just take it easy, bro. That's not for you, motherfucker. You get up and hustle. And horizontal is not for you. You're the best. You be everybody's granddaddy. But once you've reached a certain level, once you're making some money, then you calm the fuck down. Then you switch fuels. एंड देन अगेन अब जब इससे भी हायर लेवल पे जाओगे तो फिर कुछ और होएगा. हर लेवल पे एडवाइस अलग है, हर लेवल पे एडवाइस अलग है, हर लेवल पे गेम अलग है. और जो लास्ट चीज आपने बोली थी कि व्हाट अबाउट एक्सक्यूजेस, दे डोंट एग्जिस्ट.
You make them. You make them.
यस, यू मेक देम. आप मुझे कुछ भी दिखा दो, कुछ भी. आपके पास इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं है, इन्वेस्टमेंट कैन बी रेज्ड.
Yeah.
You can even start without investment these days, yaar. It's so easy, bro. You want a clothing brand, find a manufacturer, start selling to some people, get money upfront, then pay the manufacturer. There are so many ways to do things without money. So if money is your excuse, if time is your excuse, if age is your excuse, it's nonsense. You're basically saying you're afraid. You're basically saying you don't want to take the risk. And instead of saying I am a coward, you're dangling this other thing in front. You're hiding your cowardice behind. Oh,
You're
it's
hiding behind
actually
a curtain,
it's
basically.
actually the economy. It's actually the no. You're just scared. You just don't have it in you. Period. But here's the counter argument. If at age 40 I go like I'm gonna join the UFC, Akshat, it doesn't matter that I've undergone 4 heart surgeries. I believe in myself.
Or that I'm 40 and feel like 18.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I've been watching these YouTube videos that tell me I can do anything. So at age 40, even though I've undergone 4 heart surgeries, I'm gonna now join the UFC. But what about your business, Manan, which is making lakhs of rupees? Fuck that, bro. Because I want to follow my heart. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes limitations are real. And you just have to play the cards that you're dealt.
No, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
like you have to find, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, clean up the voices. Don't be one of those dumb fucking robotic people who just listen to one slogan or one statement and start following it
So
blindly,
take,
bro.
take one input and then produce one output. I think the processing power inside has to be smart enough at that point that you hear something, but you understand what you need to do with it. Not
Yes.
just hear it and do what it says.
Yes, make it your own. Like take somebody's wisdom and then make it your own. And be capable of grappling with complex truths.
Yeah.
Complex truths. Bruce Lee said, take what you like, discard what you don't, and add what is uniquely your own. So when I listen to Andrew Tate, I take what I like. There are so many things I like about him, and we can get into this next.
Yeah.
But then there are some things which
You
don't
don't
work for me.
necessarily agree with.
Yeah, they don't work
They're
for me,
not part
bro.
of Manan's life.
Yeah. And
Or
then I
Manan's
add
view.
what is uniquely my own, which has nothing to do with Andrew Tate. So I take 2 things from Andrew Tate and I take 2 things from, let's say, Osho.
Yeah.
And I fucking merge them and I create my own unique philosophy.
Osho Tate.
Osho Tate. Osho Tate. So that's what people need to be capable of, bro. Like using their own mind instead of just letting somebody else tell them what they should do. Use your own fucking mind. Think, come up with your own thoughts. Come up with your own wisdom, your own philosophy, you know. And that's what's fun. Like if you sit down with somebody and if they give you their unique perspective, you respect that person. Even if you disagree with that person,
Right.
you know.
So, Manan, back on the topic of stories, you know, you've told me a lot of them along the way, but I think the most important one that I've heard and sort of lived with you in a certain way, not, you know, with you, a little bit away from you, but I've heard all about it. I want to hear the story of Knockout, how Knockout came out. How did Manan, the kid who has all these anxiety, depression issues, has a drug addiction, came out and won in life with a fucking gym, a training center like Knockout that's doing as good as it is today. So how did that come about?
So, bro, I was in hell, like I told you. Heart surgeries, drug addiction, mental issues, social anxiety. And then, what happened was, it's like they say, when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. So I started by chasing my fears and my desires. If I was afraid of violence, I wanted to learn how to fucking handle that. If I didn't have money, I wanted to fucking go and get some money, you know. So that's the first thing. chase your fears / desires. I started by doing odd jobs. ऐसा नहीं था that one day I woke up and I opened Knockout Fight Club and somebody fucking gave me 50 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
No. I have been a call center employee where I learned sales. I think sales is an extremely crucial skill. Any human on this planet who wants to do well should know how to sell, should know how to communicate. So I worked in a call center, you know, and that was a fucking shitty ass call center, by the way. We were calling people in Australia and selling them mobile phone connections. And we weren't like a big company like a Vodafone or an Airtel. We were some shit ass company that nobody had ever heard about. So we had to call strangers, pitch them a mobile phone connection, and convince them over the phone call only to give us their credit card number.
Wow.
So imagine the kind of trust you have to build and how good you have to sound, right?
Yeah.
So that taught me a lot, obviously. So I did jobs like that. I worked in the hospitality industry for a long time. I was a DJ.
I remember you were a manager.
I was a manager of restaurants / nightclubs, and I was also a part-time DJ. So I did all these things, and then finally, I think it was a very organic process of just chasing my fear and my desire, that I realized, okay, there's this part of me that still hasn't healed. There is this fear in me of violence. And then at the same time, there's this desire in me that I don't want to have a boss. Because, you know, I'd like to believe I'm a great boss. I treat my employees with love. I give them freedom. I want them to level up. I often invite most of my employees who've been with me for many, many years to become partners in the business. Right? So I think I'm a great boss. But my bosses back in the day, even though they were fucking amazing in their own way, they taught me a lot in their own way. But it was too much rigidity, bro. It was too much like, be here at this time, do this at this time, you know. My style is that you deliver this result and then you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't need you sitting behind a desk like a fucking robot. So I didn't want that anymore,
so
you know.
They weren't in a horizontal plane, you're saying. These
Possibly.
people who you met, who grilled you or pressured you, were in a vertical environment.
Possibly. It's hard to say now, it was a long time ago. But once again, man, they were fucking amazing in their own way. All of them have contributed to my life, you know. So anyway, I'm afraid of violence. I don't want a boss anymore. All of these things are slowly building up. It was like the pieces of my life were coming together, bro. You know, I didn't even know what I was fucking destined for, but things were just slowly coming together. And then one fine day, I drink a lot. This is one night, I drink a lot. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh fuck, I can't breathe. So I go to the terrace of my house. It's a Baron Terrace. I'm just sitting there trying to breathe. And I'm like, man, I'm still afraid of violence. I still don't feel that fucking manly confidence in me. कहीं लड़ाई हो गई पहनचो तो दो बंदों को नहीं संभाल पाऊंगा मैं. And my boss is going to fucking call me. It's time to go to office. I don't like this. So I'm sitting, hangover, Baron Terrace, and I'm like, I have this Baron Terrace. What if I created a fight club here? What if I learned how to fucking fight and maybe shared that wisdom with some other people as well? Because what had happened was, I had gone to karate schools, taekwondo schools, and some fucking MMA schools in Delhi NCR. And what they were teaching in the name of self-defense was absolute crap. Like nobody, like you're not going to do a flying kick or a fucking double leg takedown or some shit if you get into a brawl, okay? You're not doing that shit. Very unrealistic. And nobody was talking about the mental part of things. Nobody was talking about that, how to not get into fights in the first place, you know. So I realized that I'll have to take matters into my own hands. I'll have to create probably the first authentic place that teaches real fucking fighting, self-defense. And yeah, man, so that morning, all the pieces, they just fucking came together and I was like, I'm doing this right here.
So you saw an imminent problem and decided to make it your mission that you are going to do something about this problem.
Bro, it was first my own problem. It wasn't like, it would be very cool on this podcast to say, I realized society has this problem and I devoted myself to it. No, bro. I was scratching my own itch. Most entrepreneurs will tell you this. They were just scratching their own itch, bro. Like you listen to fucking Uber's story or anybody's story. They were just scratching their own itch. Why can't they get a cab? It's So I was like, why can't I learn how to fight? Why are these chutiyas asking me to wear a uniform and learn how to do a flying kick? Like, what the fuck is this? I just want to learn how to fight. So I was scratching my own itch, bro. I want to learn how to fight. I want to be my own boss. I want to be financially free. I want to do something that's fun. I have a Baron Terrace. I have these fears. I have these desires. Let's fucking do it.
So
then I just jumped in.
So Manan became self-aware at that point.
Yeah, and it's like there's this saying that when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of changing, only then will you change.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just keep rotting, bro.
Otherwise,
you know
you'll
that
stay in
analogy of a
comfort,
frog?
you'll stay in
You know
comfort.
that frog analogy?
Tell me about it.
If you put a frog in boiling water, he'll jump out.
Yeah.
But if you put a frog in normal water and then slowly raise the temperature, that frog will die in that water but not jump out. So for me, the discomfort of not knowing how to fight, of not having that fucking confidence in my gut ki aaja ban chod. I am not starting any fights anywhere. Ever. I'll fold my hands and I'll say sorry and I'll say let me go from here.
Yeah.
But if you push the limit and if you don't let me go and if you fucking threaten me or my family, तो तू आ ना फिर, तू UFC fighter है, तू जो भी है, तू आ तो सही एक बार.
You will give it your 100%.
There is no
regardless of the
100%. I will rip you into pieces and I will do things to you that you will fucking regret for the rest of your life. So, ये सब नहीं था. And it was just too much to not have it, bro. Most motherfuckers are just okay being a chutia. They're just walking around, and if you ask them, bro, can you protect your sister? If you're walking with your sister or your girlfriend or your mother, and 3 people come and start harassing you, will you be able to fight? Probably. Maybe. How are you okay with that? Like, how are they okay with that? I don't understand. I just wasn't okay with that, bro. It was fucking hurting me from within. And how are you okay with working in a company where they suck the soul out of you? Sit here from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and do shit that you hate, so that you can get a little bit of money at the end of the month. People are just okay with it.
So
I wasn't, bro.
So they're okay with the umbrella where they know money is going to come in every month.
Yeah, man. And I wasn't. And I had a calling. So I was just fucking, I was ready to take the plunge, bro. I was ready to fucking just do what needs to be done.
So all you had was an idea and fear and Baron Terrace. Right?
Yeah.
Now people will say that, oh, Manan had a terrace, so he was able to do Knockout Fight Club. Right?
Really? Like some people will say that, like I had a terrace.
This is exactly what
Like
what you're saying, right? This is
not an investor.
This is the excuse they'll dangle.
Because I had a terrace. Like
Because Manan had a Baron Terrace.
Because I had a Baron Terrace. Yeah, man. I'm so privileged, man. Fuck. You can never come to my level because of the Baron Terrace. That's it, bro. That's it. These motherfuckers.
But no, this is also.
Ho hi nahi sakta, bro. You cannot compete with somebody who has a Baron Terrace.
This is also going back to the point where, I was telling you last week, people used to laugh at Donald Trump, right? There was this whole video that, he's talking and saying that I only took a loan of $1 million from my father. Where is he now, bro? He's got I think he's gone probably 40, 50, 400,000 times above that. He's a billionaire now. From $1 million, he's now up to $1 billion.
Yeah.
So from one terrace, you were able to create what you have today as Knockout. It's done 10 years. 10 years, man. And you've done a business for 10 years. You've been a business owner for 10 years.
Wow.
I mean,
Crazy, bro.
think
When you
about
say it like that, it's like.
I mean, think about it. You're the person who I met who's telling me that, bro, we do night outs every other day. To now being a person who has a fucking diary with minutes of the day of what you have to do and tasks you need to achieve.
That's basic, bro. No big deal.
I mean,
everyone who wants to be at least average, this is not even fucking above average. If you want to be an average performer in today's day and age, you better be writing shit down, you better have a calendar, you better be scheduling things. This is average. But I get what you're saying, bro. Like
from
10
rock
years
bottom to where you are now.
From fucking hell to where I am now. And I have a little bit of imposter syndrome. मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैंने कोई बहुत बड़े तीर मारे हैं और मुझे डेफिनेटली ये नहीं लगता कि आई एम डन. मुझे लगता है कि अगर द गोल इज टू गेट टू 100x, आई एम प्रॉब्ली एट 10x राइट नाउ, सो हाँ ब्रो, चल रहा है, जर्नी चल रही है, इट्स बिन गुड. एंड हर लेवल पे कुछ नया है यार. लाइक इनिशियली इट वाज अबाउट being able to feel my desires and fears and take the plunge and be a hustler in the initial days. How do you get the initial few sales and all of that? The initial phase was about being a hustler. But when I had 4-5 gyms, Then things changed.
Yeah.
Then it was about how do I manage 5 gyms because I can't be at 5 places
At the same time.
same
You can't be
time.
firefighting in 5 places.
Yeah. So there's this thing called leadership.
Hmm.
So there's this thing called building a team. You know, so that was a new learning. And then when I am at 15 gyms, so it's not all supposed to be on my shoulders. I can have other leaders also
Who take equal responsibility.
There's something called systems. There's something called standardization. There is a way for all 15 gyms to function the exact same way without my being there at the same time. New shit.
Yeah.
So every level is about new stuff. And this is where I think the challenge and the excitement is, the adventure and the battle is, you literally have to die and become a new person.
You can't read that off a book. It has to be your own learning.
Yeah, bro, like you can't be the same person, right? It's an identity level shift.
True, we've changed over the
How
years.
can I be a hustler who's building a gym on a Baron Terrace? And how can that person run, let's say, an empire of 50 gyms where he has to sit in a corporate office and look at the report from accounts and then look at the report from marketing? That person can't do it, bro.
Correct.
That person cannot do it. So it's literally a death and a rebirth, you know. Now you can use different language, you can say, okay, you have to integrate that or you have to evolve or whatever. But just to drive the point home, that guy is gone. Now, if that guy had cared about these things, he would have never crossed that level. If when you don't even have one gym, you're like, I need my PPT presentation and my financial projection.
किसको दिखाने वाला है?
And I need my accounts in place and I need to register my company. If you're doing that, when you're trying to build something on a Baron Terrace or start a class in a park, this is the answer to those people who are thinking they can't do anything without a fucking Baron Terrace. Start a class in a park. You don't need anything. You just need to be a hustler. That's it. So different human beings at different levels.
So you're saying the drive and desire is what's important. Everything else you do will follow.
Drive, desire, and learning.
And learning, of course.
And this is one of the things I see in people who go beyond 30, 35, that their brain and their personality starts calcifying. So
They
when
stop
you
learning.
Yeah, they become these weird
Rigid people.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a human being anymore. You're talking to a programming. You know how with a software, you know if you push this button, you'll get this response. A lot of like 40-year-olds in today's day and age, you pretty much know what they're going to say. You pretty much know what their day has been like.
What their outlook on life is.
You know that if you touch them here or you push this button, what they're going to do. They've become robots. There's no real consciousness in there running them. That malleability of the brain, that ability to shift identity and learn and evolve has gone. They are now a fixed personality. Their strengths will remain their strengths. Their weaknesses will remain their weaknesses. And they'll pretty much be at the same place where they are. Mostly it'll be a slow decline. They won't even be at the same place because there's no such thing as...
Because they're not changing with the times anymore.
And there's this planet, the only constant is change. So there's no such thing as staying where you are. So there's going to be a slow decline. That's something I want to like give importance to in my life. That as I grow older, I don't lose this ability to learn and grow and constantly change my identity, things like that. Because otherwise I'll be in a box, you know. And I think, bro, this is where you need friends like you. Because you've given me great feedback over the years. You know, and I'd like you to maybe just talk about this for a minute. The importance of having friends, the importance of having people who give you feedback and things like that.
So, you know, one of the feedbacks that I got from you initially, you know, this is your rock bottom stage where we met. I was a young person who was in school. You were a person who was probably age of going into college, but not probably in college, right? And I saw things you were doing around you, the kind of friend circle you had at that point in life, right? Which did teach you whatever they taught you. But what I looked at was that these are things, or there are certain things that I do not need to do in life. It doesn't mean that you have taken this path, so everyone has to become a call center employee to learn sales.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't have to have a toxic boss to learn how to manage their pressures, right? So I took the learnings in the different way. It's not always important that you get positive feedback. Sometimes you can take the negative feedback as well and try to think how you need to apply it to yourself. I saw a directionless Manan back when I was in school, right? I knew that, okay, probably this is not the kind of thing I want to replicate. What do I do differently? Correct? But as I saw Manan becoming the person that he is, where he was getting success, where he's doing things that are right, that are putting him on that trajectory that you were telling me, right? You're picking those dots and learning those skills. You then start absorbing those skills from that person. I've absorbed a couple of skills from you, and I've told you a couple of times that, you know, the fact that even back then you had confidence is something that, you know, you imbibed in me, right? You were able
Irrational confidence.
Irrational
I have
confidence.
nothing going on for myself, but I'm still confident. I have no fucking direction in life, but I'm still confident.
Yeah.
Irrational confidence.
Yeah, the confidence to be able to talk to people, right?
Yeah.
To randomly.
तूने लड़कियों से बात करना मेरे से सीखा है क्या?
मैंने लड़कियों से बात करना तुझसे सीखा है.
सही, रिकॉर्ड कर लो भाई ये रिकॉर्डिंग में आना चाहिए.
But no, it's
Your
true.
future wife should thank me.
If you're alive, she will.
I'm 18, bro. You're dying before me. How old are you? Like 28, 29, 30?
I'm 27 right now.
Yeah, so it's a fucking 10-year difference. I'm 18.
It's a 9-year difference. That's why I do numbers.
Who gives a fuck, bro? I like to round things off.
But no, the point is that, you know, even then you taught me how to talk to girls. लड़कियों से बात करना मुझे नहीं आता था. तूने मुझे बोला कि just go stand, just go say words. You know, this is what you were saying. Fear आ जाता है. You go still. You're like, what if I say this and she goes and tells other people that I said that? What if I don't sound great? What if I don't sound right? But वो मुझे पता ही नहीं चलेगा जब तक मैं करूँगा नहीं. मैंने करा, right? You taught me the thing where, you know, you can be confident even if you're doing something right. Just do it. Even if you're doing something wrong, still do it. Because you don't know if it's going to be right or wrong till you try it for once or twice or maybe even 5 times, right? You're not going to know when you're hitting the mark.
Yeah, most people are judging themselves too soon, bro.
Too soon. And in fact, they are taking everyone else's negative feedback and thinking that they are wrong. They're still not trying to understand what they can do to improve themselves. They just think that, okay, this is wrong and I'm going to stop. And that is it.
Yeah. This actually comes from evolutionary psychology, because when we were living in caves, the consequence of one bad decision could mean death.
Right.
You know, if we went to walk into a bush where we fucking get bitten by a poisonous snake, it could mean death. So, versus, let's say, 3 good decisions would only mean, okay, we get good food. Right. So, the upside of good decisions was not as severe, was not as big as the downside of bad decisions. So, as an animal, we are wired to focus on the negative. We are wired to do that. So, if you give me 5 compliments, but
I give you one negative compliment.
But while leaving, you say something like, bro, I didn't really like the red t-shirt you were wearing. I'm going to forget the fucking 5 compliments, and the only thing in my head is going to be the red t-shirt.
I need to burn this.
Yeah, I need to burn this t-shirt right now. So that's our wiring, and that's something we have to go beyond.
But then that's what I'm talking about, right? I told you it's not, the red doesn't look good on you, although it does. But then why not try purple? Why not try black? Why not try yellow, right? Why just say that, oh, red doesn't look good on me, so I'm not good enough. So I'm not good enough, right?
So one thing is to put it in perspective that, okay, understand this about yourself, that you will focus too much on the negative. So don't do that. Balance it, right? Now that you're aware of your own nature, balance it. Focus on the positive as well. This is where things like writing down things you have gratitude for and all, they help you. So one thing is that. And the second thing is definitely what you just said. Don't just fucking dwell on the problem, yaar. Okay, if you really feel the red shirt doesn't look good, go and change the fucking shirt.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, red shirt. Oh my god, people don't like my red shirt. People don't like it. Go and do fucking something, bro. Just change it. Experiment. I think so much of life is simple and we complicate it. Do you want to talk about that? Like, some of the solutions are just fucking simple, bro.
Yeah, they are. It's as simple as maybe not getting into the fight, maybe learning how to fight, or having someone with you who knows how to fight for you as well. You know, what if you are actually incapable of fighting, but you have a friend who is always there for you and can fight for you, right? Having those alliances, like you said, you will not always be there to put out the fires or, you know, fight all the fights for other people. Sometimes you have to be there for yourselves, and sometimes you have to also be there for your alliances, and sometimes your alliances have to be there for you. You know, so like this is where the importance of having those friends comes in, and also
Definitely.
the fact that you need to have friends who aren't afraid to say what they want to say, right?
हाँ मुंह पे बोले तू चूतिया है बहनचोद. You need friends like that. I'm telling you right now. You need friends who will look you in the eyes and be like तू चूतिया है बहनचोद, ये क्या कर रहा है? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ब्रो.
बट ये भी रिकग्नाइज करना इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वो फ्रेंड तुम्हें चूतिया बोल रहा है तो इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि दे हेट यू और your value is less for them.
Yeah.
It just means that they are giving you feedback and you need to take it at that point and take it as it is.
Bro, इसका फॉर्मूला बड़ा सिंपल है. A, the person should be somebody who genuinely cares about you, right? Like if you care about me, then whatever you say to me has value.
Right.
B, you should have some level of competence in whatever the fuck you're talking about.
That as well.
ये दो चीजें जिस इंसान में आपको मिल जाती है ना, वो बहुत सही है. वो बहुत सही है. इमेजिन करके देखो ना, तेरे को लेट्स से कार्स के बारे में बहुत मालूम है, एंड यू ऑल्सो केयर अबाउट मी एज अ पर्सन. तो मैं अगर तेरे को फोन करके बोलूँ अक्षत मेरा ये बजट है, आई वांट टू बाय अ कार, तेरे को एक तो एक्सपर्टीज है, and you genuinely love me, so you'll be like, okay, everybody back off, give me 5 minutes, let me think about this. You'll actually give me your attention. दिल से देगा तू अपनी attention. So that's the only feedback you should fucking give importance to. Everything else you can block it out, bro. अभी इस टाइम पे इंडियन MMA में जितना मुझे प्यार मिलता है ना, शायद उससे ज्यादा मेरे को हेट मिलता है.
Why do you get hate?
Why does every successful person get hate? Because that's how it is at the top.
But tell me some of the reasons why you get hate.
Bro, because I probably am one of the youngest players in the game. I've
Okay.
become too successful too fast.
Too fast.
I have the largest chain of martial arts gyms in the country. A lot of people do not agree with my philosophy and my way of doing things. Like for example, when somebody comes to me to learn self-defense, I'm going to make them use their voice. I'll be like, can you scream really loudly?
Yeah.
And a lot of people will look at that and be like, what is this? This is so weird. This is not martial arts. Martial arts is a single leg takedown to XYZ move to whatever. And sure, that of course has its value, right?
Right.
But what's wrong with teaching somebody to use their voice? What's wrong with teaching somebody to have a physical presence? What's wrong with teaching somebody to use their mind as a weapon?
Mind as a weapon, that's a good one.
Yeah, because that is our greatest weapon at the end of the day.
But you know, all these points that you just said, why people hate you, you've counted on success, that's fine. But then you also counted on the fact that you have decided to take a left turn, which is probably one of the reasons why you are successful. That could be one of the reasons. People relate more to your style, where they are also able to relate that I don't need to have black belt, blue belt to say that I am good. You can just be good by learning one skill. Maybe that could be shouting, hitting with your palm, and be a person who will come out of the fight victorious versus a person who knows how to do, kung fu, MMA, or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah, yeah. And bro, like, I'll talk about MMA in a second, but by definition, if you want to be in the top 5% or 10% of an industry, even in, let's say, a limited area, let's say one city or one country, right? If you want to be in the top 5%, top 10%, by definition, what you do should be contrarian in nature. It should be contrarian in nature.
Yeah.
By definition.
So how else?
So
will you
that
stand
means, yeah, that means what you're doing is going to be fucking different from what 90% of the players are doing. How do you think that's going to make the 90% of the players feel?
out? Right.
Right?
Right.
Either they will learn from you and copy you, which by the way a lot of people have done in Delhi NCR. Or they will just be like, fuck this guy, he doesn't know this, he doesn't have this, blah blah blah. So that's probably another reason why people have their issues with me. And now coming to MMA, bro, I think MMA is fucking beautiful. MMA is the world's most popular, fastest growing combat sport for a reason. Because it pretty much combines everything, right?
Yeah.
It's a real fight. What happens in a real fight? Anything. The answer is anything.
True.
Anything can happen. Somebody could pick up a bottle, smash that fucking bottle on your head. Somebody could pick you up, throw you down. Anything could happen in a real fight. But what has been happening before MMA became mainstream? Oh, you're doing only boxing, so you're not allowed to grab the other person. or you're doing only wrestling, so you're not allowed to punch the other person, or that's not how it works on the fucking street.
Right.
But
And also, that's not how it works in life either, you know. I want to touch upon this by saying that, you know, people who, let's say, are in a spot where they took the route of getting an education, getting a certain kind of job, are on a certain role, and they only see one path. They forget to see how they can grow horizontally as well, you know. They only think of how I will go vertically. Like you said that you were a salesman, there's a manager above you, and you are the person who's in sales. Maybe you were great at marketing. Maybe you were great at business development. Maybe you were great at some other skill. Why not take time, recognize that, and make a lateral shift rather than trying to creep the ladder horizontally?
it's
Why
amazing
not
that you fucking saw this, bro. This is the essence of martial arts. Be like water. Be like water. And this is the magic of martial arts. If somebody, bro, the physical is there and it's important, but then there are layers to it, okay?
Yeah.
From the physical, you can go to the mental. From the mental, you can go to the spiritual. If you learn martial arts from a good teacher, they will change your whole life. Remember, we were talking about identity shifting?
Right.
On your way to success. Martial arts, if you're learning from a good teacher, he will constantly shift your identity.
He'll change your training?
Every physical technique that you learn, or let's say a set of techniques that you learn, you will along with them learn principles, theory, character traits.
Right.
You know, for example, a simple thing like break fall. It's a technique which you use if you fall down on the ground to reduce the impact of that fall. Okay, it's called break fall.
Right.
Because in a fight, if you get taken down or somebody pushes you and you fall down, break fall helps you reduce the damage so that you can quickly get back up and do whatever you need to do.
Right. And not be winded from it.
Yeah, either you get back up or you fight on the ground, whatever you want to do, but it helps you reduce the damage, reduce the impact. Now that technique alone, if you look at the symbolism and the meaning that you can attach to that, learning how to fall,
Is as important as getting back up.
learning how to fall and not getting permanently damaged by that, how important is that in fucking business, in life, in anything? And that's just one technique, bro. There are 30,000 techniques in martial arts.
And
So
all of them
this-
can be applied back to your real life.
All of them. All of them. So this, in my opinion, is the real magic. And I really wish people start teaching this side of martial arts. Because if you teach this, you change the world.
Or what if they come to knockout?
Yeah, man, of course, people can come to knockout. We're always here, always willing to help. You can reach out to me on my Instagram. You can come to any of our academies all over the country. We are always here, always willing to support people, help people, and make people the next best version of themselves.
So a holistic development versus just learning how to fight.
100%, bro. 100%.
So I think we should talk about the holistic development in the coming days. Try to understand what we need to do about it.
Yeah, let's do that, bro. In the next episode, let's talk about how to grow holistically. And let's go deep into things. You know, like what exactly to do every day, every week, every month. Routines to
Come up
follow.
with plans.
Systems, yeah, absolutely. In health, wealth, relationships, etc. And if people want to let us know what they want to talk about, what they want us to talk about, they should definitely comment, reach out to us. And man, since this is new, share it. Share it. Tell your friends about it. Support us. And we will do our best to give you valuable content.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.